Hello YouTube, welcome back. Today, the cross country. Remember that little driving on a flat tire issue August of 2023? Yeah, I hit a light pole, did some damage on the front end. It had been hit before we bought it, but did extra damage. I have finally accumulated all the bits and pieces for a new front fascia on the cross country XC70. All right, so I've been accumulating some front end parts. Accumulating, that's hard to say. Got the front fascia for the XC70 off of 2007, so it's in pretty good shape. Let me flip it up. It doesn't want to stay. It's in really good condition with the grill, everything. Can't remember how long I've had this. A couple months or almost a year maybe. Got the under panel for it. I think they came together. I believe this is from an S60R. When I got that front bumper. I think this is on Craiglist trying to get rid of, but I pulled it out of the backyard just in case. This is obviously going on. That's the radiator upper mount that allows all that to mount. And then this crush bar that's underneath. And I can't remember if that's an extra or not. We'll find out when I get all this taken apart. But actually, that also might be from the S60. S60R. I can't remember, to be honest. So, and then hiding back here since August of this year when we redid the tailgate, the lift gate, I went back and pulled the doors because since we have owned the XC70, I bought it as the battle wagon for the kids to learn how to drive when they were in high school, and it came that way. So I pulled those. If I have time, I'm going to put those on. So hopefully the weather holds for a day or so. I think it's supposed to be a nice all week, so that's the plan. The oil sump is all fixed. The transmission fluid, I did a little drain and fill on it, a little over 2 liters. Oil's back up, it's not leaking. Time to pull the front off. All right, so I'm trying to remember, why did I put this off for over a year? Had all those parts like last fall. So those parts all out there on the driveway have been here for a year. It's this headlight. All the tabs on this one are broken underneath where it bolts. It's these two, I think, where it bolts in. They are broken from an incident getting a repair on the AC. So I was looking for a good headlight, and I had finally found one this spring, if I remember right. So then my kids were using this car all summer, and so I didn't really have a chance to pull it apart. That's what I was waiting for. It was that headlight. And this, ironically, this headlight was replaced with an OEM one. It's now broke. The tabs are all broke. I kind of glued them back together to get it to mount, but you can see they have since broken again. So anyway, this one's got the best lens because obviously it's newer. This lens is terrible. I've cleaned it up a couple times, but I'm gonna try a new product. This, I think it's got some sort of a coating on it. Most likely the ceramic coatings or whatever that is. So we're gonna give that a shot before we put this back together. That one is gonna go there, and that lens already cleaned up really nicely, but I'll probably give it a shot with the ceramic stuff as well from Turtle Wax. But this is all coming off because this bar is completely bent in. This is where my daughter hit the light pole. Bent that back in. This got lifted up just a little bit, but it should be able to mount because the front is still straight. And then this side had been, well, it's a little crooked, so we'll see. I don't know if the new one's going to be able to mount on there or not. We will find out. Because that whole frame rail, this was wrecked, and this is why this light was replaced. This was wrecked before we bought it. Yeah, that wasn't us. It came to us that way, but that side is us. That's what hit the light pole. So this side may be an issue. We'll see if we can get this to mount. All right, so now I got my headlights out. This was my right side. I had bonded this one back together with some RTV, so it could at least have one bolt in. I actually had two of them, but that one, no, maybe I didn't. Maybe that one's already gone. But you can see there's supposed to be a hanger tab right here and right here that is right there and right there. So these actually are supposed to slide on top of here. And I just noticed they had mounted them on the bottom, so underneath. Those tabs, instead of sliding over the top to hold this, were under here, and then when they tighten them down, they snap them. There's a little bolt, I've got to find that. And on the left side, my good one, it still has these mounting tabs. Oh, it's crushed because these were too low. So it didn't break it completely. But I got the same issue on this one that I had on that one, didn't even know it. So yeah, they were just missing. They broke them off. So you can see that if you don't hang it on the top, these are in the way, and as it pulls it tight, it lifts it up, it just snaps these off, and it crushes these guys, because there's nowhere for it to go until they break. Yep, so that's what we got. What are the chances this is going to fit straight? Because it hit the light pole here, caved that one in, but amazingly, miraculously, it stopped right against the coolant reservoir. It didn't even puncture it. So it twisted that a little bit, but this part looks pretty straight. Over here we got a different story. Yeah, it does look to be that it's cockeyed a little bit. So I'm not sure if it'll even bolt on. It looks to be twisted just a little bit. And this was a wreck before we owned the car. So I have a perfectly good bar out here that is perfectly straight and square, sitting right there. Is it gonna mount? I might be doing this for naught. All for fixing some headlights and just keeping it the way it is. So we'll see if we can get that to come apart. All right, much progress. Man, if I would have been thinking about it, I would have put the Doe 88 radiator and intercooler on this car, because this is going to be the world's easiest installation since all of that's going to be off. But anyway, here's what we got. That's all caved in. We knew that. But over here, these are just, I think this was a 13mm bolt. It's this big bad boy right here. And it sits on this, like, basically a welded in little back threaded piece right there. Problem over here is, as it loosened up, this little back piece right there, it's just free spinning. So I gotta get a plumbing wrench on there or something and just hold it in place so I can clamp this baby, or unscrew it. It's loose, it just won't unscrew. That's where we're at. I'm still hoping I can get that new bar on there and it'll mount across and sit square, but I'm not optimistic. All right, it's been so long since I pulled that part out of the junkyard, I forgot. There's actually two bolts that hold the front on. One right there that had the little pop-off thing on the nut on the back, and then there's one right here, which causes a problem because it mounts on the back side of this frame rail. There's a little thing right there, so that's a problem. I hope you're looking at the same thing I was. Got the one here, and the nut's still on the back. But that's a problem, because this all got caved in by a light pole, August of 2023, and the backing is all the way back there. So, if I can get this to pop free, which it should, I'm going to give it some love taps, let's pry it, and I can get it to mount square across the front. We'll just have one bolt on this side, because that one's not going to be touching anything. I don't have the ability to bend that back. Heavy-duty aluminum. So yeah, there's 4 of these bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this actually just kind of sits in place. It's got teeth on the backside, so it is not really welded in there at all. I was wrong. What I did to hold it in place is I just grabbed it with this, clamped down on it, and I was able to unscrew with the breaker bar. All right, YouTube, so here's the update. That's the one I pulled out of a junkyard, and to be quite honest, because it wasn't wrecked, it came off really easy. I just whacked it with a dead blow hammer a couple times and popped. It wasn't even welded. It's more this. It was really cold when I did it. It's like this putty. It's like glued on the outside and on the inside. So it's glued right here to a little wing and then behind the nut, or that side of the nut right there. So that's kind of where it's at. It's got like a little tab here. This one grabs, goes up in, so it slides in like that, and then the bottom locks on and then it glues. So anyway, that's the straight one. Here's some of that putty that's left over from when I popped it. It was really cold that day in the junkyard last winter. And I just hit it with, I think I had the pry bar, and I just whacked it with the dead blow hammer, and it popped that right off. So these are not welded, they're glued. But the problem is, this isn't letting go at all. Oh, there's a spring sitting down in there. That's kind of interesting. What the heck is that? Huh, a little spring. Wonder what that goes to. I have no idea. Anyway, that's kind of an interesting find. But this is so caved in on itself, I can't get this one. I can't even, there's nothing to even pry on. It's so tight. I can't even see if I can pop it. And I'm afraid that if I do pop it, this one's never going to line up right. And then on this one, I was able to pry it just a little bit. You can see this tab is starting to kind of fold back away. At this point, I think what I'm going to do is keep this good piece I pulled out of the junkyard. And at some point, I'll just decide to take it to the, I'll pull it apart again. For right now, I think I'm just going to put the facade back on it with the new pieces, because this upper radiator mount was kind of bent a little bit from hitting the light pole. So I am going to redo this with just as a facade. This will still be the same way it's been since 2019 when we bought it underneath. And then maybe at some point I take it in, spend some money at the body shop and see if they can straighten this frame, pull these out, and we can put on that new one. That one down there is a replacement. And then this side, just square this up in the front. But I need them to do that on a frame machine. There's no way I can pull that straight or whack it. There's nothing to, there's no leverage to get anything to bend. So just gonna put it back together for what we got, and we'll move on. All right, YouTube. Pulled this out of a junkyard a year ago, a couple months ago. This air guide that helps the air so it doesn't go out the sides. It forces it to go through the radiator once it's through the grill. Transferred the horns, the hood latches, one on either side, and the impact sensors to this, and the harness to this upper radiator mount. Going to put it on there. Got the pieces up here. Going to, the big risk here is I want to make sure I get that lined up before I put these on, because these block it. But I want to make sure that I have the tabs for the hood, that they're lined up with the hood things before I lock it shut with those on, because that makes it impossible to reach in there. All right, YouTube, sounds like it's going to snow again outside. It got cold and dark, clouds coming across those mountains. But what I'm going to do at this point is, this is the one that was on there. That's the one I pulled out of the junkyard. That's perfect. I can't get this one to mount up. So what happened when she hit the light pole is it lifted this and brought all of this kind of like that. So this one will fit. The one that was on here will fit, and it just bows a little bit right here and lifts, which I knew about because we couldn't get it to pop down and it just fit a little funny. I'm going to go ahead and mount it back on there because it works. I know it's fine. This thing needs to go to a body shop where they can do a frame machine and hydraulically pull this back down. Pull that out. We could put the new bar on there across the front. We could pull this one forward. But I'm going to save this one so it's fresh and not bent. Put this one back on there because I know it works. And then I'm going to put the replacement cover on it because the other one was all cracked and kind of messed up right here and didn't fit well on this side anymore. Obviously, it's still not going to fit well on this side because of this situation. But at least I can put it back together. We'll clean up the headlights, clean up that headlight for sure. That's gross. Get those on here and call it good. I will leave in my new little guides I put on the back of the bumper for the airflow. So once it comes in there, it has to force it through can't get out the sides. But that's what we're going to do. I cannot bend that. I've been yanking on it, pulling it, but that's just beyond my abilities. You know what kind of sucks, YouTube? I had just transferred all of the crash sensors, the horns, the air guides. Everything was transferred. The electrical harness for the front was transferred to the new one. That's perfect. And what I should have done was pulled that one off with all the stuff still attached to it, pulled it off, put the new one on to see if it would even fit before I transferred any of that stuff, because now I got to go over and do it again. All right, YouTube, just an hour of fun, so I'm just going to tell you this because you don't do what I did. I did a test fit, got everything back onto the one that's bent, brought the hood down, made sure it was lining up with where I had my hood locks, and then I let it close. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Had all this bolted in, walked around to the car, reached down in there, grabbed the release, and there was no resistance because it was sitting right here. Yeah, that's supposed to be running up along the inside and connecting to both of these hood releases. That was not fun. Don't do that. Make sure you get that connected before you drop that down. I actually had to pull the shroud off the front, bend the heck out of this one down, and reach my hand up in there and get a hold of that one. This one was easy. That side was really hard. Don't do that, YouTube. All right, YouTube, there's that light going in. This is the one I pulled out of a junkyard. But I want to show you 2 bolts here. 1, 2, 1 bolt on the front, and 1 bolt back in right there. You see that? There's one. Make sure you guys saw these. 1 bolt there on the side underneath this. 1 on the top, 2 on the top, and 1 in the front. That's where they bolt. But here's the secret. These hangers, these little tabs hold it on the top of the radiator upper brace. If you put them on the bottom, then this is sitting against the bottom, and you can't, as you tighten up this bolt and that bolt, you're going to snap these off, which is exactly what happened on these. And these tabs are now broken. So these stayed intact, barely. I need another one because that is a mess. That is a total mess. Don't know what happened here. It's split. Anyway, yep, this will mount up for a time being, but I'll get another lens as well. Before, damn, I don't know what's in that turtle wax, whatever it is. But you just rub it on with a cloth. I don't even have to use I'm not flinging crap all over the wall with a drill and an attachment. It's just this. You rub it on with a cloth just by circles, little wax. and it just turns yellow, pulls all this oxidation off. That was it. I did it twice on this one, and I did it once over here just to make them sort of even. I'd done this one with the drill and splattering stuff everywhere. On the other kit that I had, I don't even know what kind it is, but this is pretty cool. Now it's got some sort of a lubricating thing or whatever, so we'll see what happens here. All right, YouTube, while we're live here, I like this turtle wax windshield kit. It's probably got some forever chemicals in it that are going to poison the planet, but that was easy. Let's give you a quick, there's what it looks like installed. Here's what the before was up there. And there's an after right there. Obviously, that's an after installed. All right, the cover's back on. It's hiding some damage under there. It's hiding some damage over there. It's going to have to live with that for now. I got this mounted up as good as I can. I don't like the gaps. There's definitely a hood gap issue right here. When the hood's closed, you can see that gap isn't straight. Obviously, because it's all pushed apart, and you can see the difference here. So this side is sitting flush, and this side is not. It's pushed apart a little bit as this is pushed in. It's pushing that out. So that's what we got. It's back together. Lights work. I got really lucky because I didn't even check the light bulbs. I just put it in when I pulled out of the junkyard. The fog lights came out of my car. That new bumper. This is all intact. It's not cracked. Everything's good. It's flexed quite a bit right here. You can see it. It kind of has a lift. But that's because of the underside damage. Let's go do Battle Scars 2. We'll keep moving forward and we'll do some doors. These should be easy. God, I hope so. And I'm back to the honey hole. Both those doors are coming home with me today. Gonna stack, I'm doing it solo, so building this up. I'm gonna stick like a door card or something on there. I'll find something so the door can sit on there. Already disconnected the electrical. Super easy, just pulled out, and there's a super simple separator right there. 2 bolts. 1, 2, well 3, because I had this retainers. There's a little retainer that goes in there. Wow, it pulled itself back in. So anyway, yeah, that's a T40, I believe. And whatever these are, 2 bolts and we're out. Front door, rear door. Front door's ready to go to the car. Rear door's already out there. This is the best part of pulling parts. Come here, do this one first, figure out how it works in case you break anything. Just gonna show this for myself, for my memory. This one disconnects here. This lifts up, reach in there with the screwdriver, it pulls right out. The back one stays, and it is just a little presser right there, thumb presser. Super simple. All right, more heavy carrying to the car. Day 2 at the honey hole, and I just realized it has 2 sets, or a full set, 2 pieces. Projector HID headlights. Yep, I already have a set on Craiglist at the moment that are way better than those, but that's kind of funny. It's only the second set I've ever seen. So this bolt here is just a T40. It holds in this retaining hinge into the catch. It gives it some stopping points as the door goes in. So you just disconnect that, and then you get careful not to spring the door. Although this one's probably going to the scrapyard anyway. But now we can get to these 2 bolts, and I want to do this electronics first. And it's really nice to have the other door in here because I remember I can just walk over and take a look at it because I figured out how to do this in the junkyard. I'm going to pull this off, and there's like a little popper. Comes right off of there. And it's all coming back to me, except when I was in the junkyard doing this, it's like 50 degrees warmer. It's like a 100-degree day, and I was sweating my butt off. So you pry on this rubber, you just get this tugged out of the grommet, or this is the grommet. But you pull the grommet, this rubber grommet, out of that plug hole, and there's your connector. It has just enough cable on it that you can get to it. So that's what we're gonna do. Pop that apart. There's just one little connector on the top, or one little retainer tab. Piece of cake. Just gonna show you this. There is nothing holding up the door. The bolts are out. 2 12s came out. Piece of cake. I just have my jack there. No pressure on it. It was just to where it touched it, so it'd give it some support. Looks like it's actually off center down there. So yeah, it could fall at any minute. Let me show you what I got. It's just sitting. 12s off. Oh, I just sat down and it moved. Car sunk and door stayed. Isn't that interesting? Look at that. Okay, see the bolt? Doop. So it just sits. Somehow these mounts, they just grab together. We'll figure that out when I come back to on the other one. I bet it's going to be harder because they're going to be moving around on me. So now just lift it off and walk away with it. You have to trust me on this one. It took like all of 30 seconds. That's not that heavy. Just grabbed it and lifted it right off. Oh, there's why. There's why. Look at this. See? They drop down. There's little pins. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Bottom of these little nub pins just drop right in. It doesn't matter what angle these are at. Oh, excellent. That is great news. This should go right back together as long as these are tuned. This way, this way, this way, this way, back and forth. The same on the other cars they are on this car. It should go right back together. What are the odds? I have a feeling that that's going to be a better door card though, so we'll probably change that afterwards. I think it still has tinted windows, crossing my fingers. Alright YouTube, I got the electrical connector back together. The hard part is getting it all to fit back in there and get that grommet to reseat itself on there like a, you know, like a piggy bank in the bottom. Old ceramic piggy bank grommets. So anyway, I'm going to play with that in a little bit, but right now I just want to see if this thing even closes. It's definitely dirty and grimy. We're definitely going to switch it back to the one we had. Much nicer. Let's see what happens. Does it line up and close? What? It's not closing. This is in the way. Maybe? Or is it that? I don't know. Let's see. This is not good. Not good at all. We're binding. Oh, no. Oh, it's binding up on. Yeah. We're gonna try this again. I just folded the retainer flat real fast, like it will be when it closes. Let's see if it will close and not bind up. Come on, baby. Close. Oh my goodness. Did it just do that? It totally closed. Same tint on the windows, I believe. Oh, maybe a little bit lighter. Who knows? But it's not damaged. It's not damaged. And look, you can still see it right there. There's the little edge of the old one. Oh, I love it. I just gotta re-glue this. Oh yeah. YouTube, let's see if this thing will work. I got the power on. See, windows are working, front window's working just fine. Let's see what the back one does. Works. It works. Gotta clean this thing up. Let's see if the door locks work. It locks. It unlocks. Let's see if the stereo works.
That's it. There's a CPR news.
It works! Excellent! YouTube, it looks so good. It's getting dark and cold outside, but I'm going to go just a little bit further. I think I'm going to pull this one off and maybe set the other one on there. Not get it completely done tonight, but yeah, already got the door card off, got the mirror off. Just got the T40 off on the retainer. And I'm going to do the two hinges, two 12s, and off it comes. And just like that, the front door is off. Super easy access. This side, it's kind of interesting. The back door comes off of the grommet here, off the B pillar. You can see it right there. Oh, that makes it easier to tuck it in. Oh, why didn't I think of that? I can do it from the front. My goodness. That would have been a lot easier. Anyway, that's that. Now we gotta do this one. And it comes off of the door, directly off that little white cap down there in the middle. And I'm going to do this tomorrow because I'm getting tired of making mistakes. I went to lift this one off and I forgot to disconnect this. So I had to rush and get this into place to hold it, keep it from pinching my fingers, and figure out how to pry this up. It just has a little lifty tab right there. It lifts up that way with a screwdriver, and then you can kind of push it off. And it just reaches in there with a medium screwdriver and a piece of cake. But yeah, these are going to be going on Craigslist. Who needs some door parts? Let me know. All right, next morning we're going to get this door on. I carried it over here. We'll get rid of this door card. Mine's in better shape. Anyway, we're going to leave it on there as a handle in case some things break. It's not really tacked on there, but it'll work. Time to give this a little bit of support, see if we can line it up and get it tucked in there. Obviously, the inside of the door's got to be inside the fender right here because we got to find those little male studs into there. I did tuck the cable connector up here out of the way so I don't damage it on this one. That's what we're doing. All right, Hot Mama C is going to help me, and I'm not giving you the time lapse because there might be cuss words. I don't want to get in trouble with the YouTubes. Hot Mama C to help me by pumping that up while I maneuvered it into place. Got the two studs right above the hinges where they mount in, and then she just slowly let the jack drop it down, and it went right into place with me guiding it and watching it on the side. So two-person job makes this a lot easier. It's on there. There's nothing holding it. Again, just the male studs on the hinges. And time to do some bolting, and then we're going to pull this off and see if it closes. It should, right? All right, YouTube, we get to redo it because I thought I was being clever and sticking the electrical connector line up inside the fender, and I'd pull it out when we got done. The problem is I can't get to it. can't access it. There's not enough. I thought I'd be able to get it from this backside. Can't really get in there. So I think I'm gonna have to pull it back off and redo it. Quick update, just some minor finger pinching. I was able to get this open just a wee bit, enough that my finger would fit there, through there, and kind of push with my fingertip. Just worming it with my fingertip. Where are we at? I don't want the door to pinch my finger. That hurts. But I was able to get my fingertip in there and just keep pushing, pushing, pushing until there was enough on this side to grab a hold of it and pull it. So got it through. Redo avoided. All right, YouTube, quick update. The bolts are in place on the hinges. I'm going to watch what you're looking at this time so you can see it. There it is, up the topper one, the bottom one, and there. I did notice while I was sitting here, these hinge pins, this is the upper one. This one seems to be out quite a bit. I'm going to see if those press in. I'll play with these other ones over there. But that, I don't know, maybe the lower ones just sit higher. Not really sure what that's all about. Okay, first test. It's on. It is connected. They are snug and tight. Let's see if it will actually close. Presto. Don't hit anything up front. Gaps look good. Let's push it. Oh my. It's the first time I've owned this car without a big crash down the side. Oh my goodness. Obviously, it's still got issues up here. We'll worry about that later. That's fixed. The tailgate's fixed. The battle scars are healing. It's looking good. I like it. It is working, but listen to it as it opens up. Got the dryer running in the background. Garage shop. Gotta love it. Ready? Listen to this. Hear that? It's just bound up. It's just tight. It wants to release. I'll get close. See if you can hear it. Hear that? And I think from looking at this, this is locked into place. The door up front can be adjusted. I think all we got to do, it's got little tuning marks. See these little lines? I think it is just a little bit off. It's turned. I think I want to just adjust this just a wee bit and see if I can see my flashlight. I think it might be rubbing on the top, it looks like. Well, that was the old door, so, well, might be the new door. Who knows? Gotta play with this, but I'm not gonna do it right away. We're gonna deal with the door panel first. All right, YouTube, you're inside with me. Before we do anything with that door panel, let's see if we have, okay, it doesn't have an outside temperature because there's no mirror there. Turn off the radio so I don't get in trouble. Up, down, auto. We'll probably have to reprogram that. It's working. Auto up. It worked. Locks. Locks. Excellent. That's a plus. Let's get a new door panel on there and get the mirror on. All right, YouTube, let me step back so you can see it in the background. I think that's a wrap on Battle Scars 2. Obviously, I'll take this in and get some estimates on fixing the frame rails up here in the front. But I got some storage on the top of the car that I'll have to deal with. But look at the shine on the doors without dents on the passenger side. Loving it. I think that front door cost me $100 and the rear door cost me $96 fully intact. Took them off that 2007 in the junkyard. 2007 in the junkyard, fully intact with everything and working. That's a bargain. I think I'm going to put those on Craigslist to see if anybody wants the parts out of them. Obviously, they're dented on the outside, but all the guts are working. So I'll put them on Craigslist, $100, get them out of here. I want them out of the garage as quick as possible. But that's a wrap. Remember, if I can do it, you can do it. Be safe out there, YouTube. Jump down below, hit that subscribe button. There's more content coming. Thanks a lot for playing along.